Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Juliet Neilcraft. So today I am playing with the funky florals again. So I still have some images all coloured up and cut out, and I have these tags which have these tabs on them. So they're from Studio Light, and I bought them when Julia Watts had the Studio Light one day special ages ago, and I've never actually used them yet. So I thought we could try these. Now I don't know if we will manage to do 3. It'd be quite cool if we could, but let's have a little see how we go anyway. So I'm going to get one of each out because I think that could be quite fun. So as I said, I don't know whether I'll just do one tag or whether I'll do it so that we have the tab effect working, because I just think that could be quite fun. But as I said, I don't know we've got enough flowers, but I've not necessarily got all the different varieties sort of cut out and stuff like that. So I'm just going to start with one to start off with, and then we can see how we go. So I am going to, I've got some scrap paper because I've been doing a little bit of crafting already. So I think the video that I was making should probably be up on the channel. It'll probably be, the last one that I was making will probably be the first one going up on this set, because it sort of gives the introduction of what the stamps look like and all of that sort of stuff. So if you want to see the set in full, I can link to that video below. So I'm just using these scraps of paper and just to get the tabs on, or the tab, so at the minute I've not decided what I'm doing. I think a tag is a good way if you're not quite sure where you're going. They're not too overpowering, a tag. Like, they don't seem as daunting. It's not such a big space. So I need that to be a bit, it's going further up than I'd intended. Hang on. Okay, there. I'm faffing. There we go. So that's that so far. And the other thing that I'm going to do, just to help me, because I'm needing help. I'm just actually going to edge it in black before I start, just to help me frame the piece and see what I want to do. Sometimes I do this at the end, sometimes if I'm not sure of my direction I do it earlier. It just helps me focus. That's ended up not being overly even, so I think what I may do, and that's kind of got, so it's torn it out of a pad that had gluey edges, sort of caught the edges. I'm just going to neaten that up a little bit. There we go. And then we'll see how we go on. Yeah, that's kind of gone a bit squint, so I'm thinking that maybe if we were to get another bit of paper and pop it down the side, that would help the situation of that somewhat. So let's just, I'm going to cut that bit straight, and then, oh, hang on a minute, what have I got down here? I just need a straight piece that'll fit. So that fits. So what I'm going to do though is just tear it, because I don't really want that wiggly edge. But if I tear it, it's kind of difficult with that bottom bit. There we go. If I tear it, it's just going to give us a bit of interest, and it's just going to neaten up. So never panic if something's not quite right. There's normally fudges, it's not like you have to start again. So there we go, because this has got a nice straight edge. It's from the same paper pack, so it sort of matches. And now we've created a little bit of a torn detail on there as well. And we can pop that down, and I'm using up some scraps, so it's all good. Because the less that goes in the bit box at an end of a session of crafting, the happier I am. There we go. So now we've got the contrast, and I'll probably doodle the edge of that in so that it sits better once we've kind of worked out what we are doing. Right, so go, and I'm just going to get my black pen again and edge that, because that will make a difference. Help us see the edge of it again. And seeing as I'd edged the rest of it, it looks a bit funny now that there's no black line on that, so that just keeps it in context. There we go. That's quite fun. And then we can just pop a little bit of something down and see how we get on. I like this so far. I think I am going to, I don't know, because I've just done a card where I don't want all my samples to end up looking exactly the same, but I'm just going to experiment with this a little bit, because I'm thinking about sort of grounding the flower somewhat. I don't know if I want to do that or not. I'm just wondering if something, yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it and see what occurs. Pop that down like so, and I'm going to just grab a little bit of glue because I kind of like it tucked behind, so I'm just gonna, there we go, do that for just now, and then let's neaten that up. We're trying now. I'm thinking that I might just do the one tag, because the way I've put the flower, when I put this tag down here, oh no, we might still see it. I was going to say I wasn't sure whether we'd still see that, but we are still seeing it, so maybe. That's what I'm going to do with the backs of them. I reckon I've got enough, well, we can work that out, I suppose, can't we? What I could do is just maybe mat and layer some paper on it and make like a journaling card rather than worry about design. Yeah, that is what I may do. Right, so we've got that. That looks quite fun. I'm going to just grab this just for you, sentiment. Let me see, because we've got the garden pots on as well. So let me see what we've got in here with regards to sentiments and background stamps. Sammy the snail could look quite cute there, I think. I might go with this dangle actually, that could be quite fun. And maybe some of the words from this. Or let's have some funky looking clouds, because the one good thing about doing this sort of thing is we can end up with like lots of scrappy bits like this that we're not quite sure what we would do with, and I think stamping and paper piecing is such a good and fun way of sort of dealing with that. So I'm going to maybe get 3 clouds. It's me, and I've not done a cloud so far this evening. It is like that so far this evening, because yeah, I'm putting it on squint, which maybe not the best use of space, but I really fancied a little bit of polka dot on my cloud. So I'm going to cut in this. So this is quite good. I have just filmed a video, as I said, which should already be on my channel by the time you're watching this one. But I'm literally filming it at the same time. But this is what I mean, it's like I've got this bit of paper on my desk, so the more I can use it, the less that has to sort of go in the scrap pile, which is awesome. Right, so I'm thinking that if we had 3 clouds, so we've got 1, and then let's have a yellow one, and then I'm going to put some of those dangles down. So I'm going to have a yellow cloud, and I'm just trying to think of contrasts. Will I manage to fit a cloud in here? Just. There we go. I want different colours. Right, so I'm going to get this one here. Sorry, I hope this is not overly boring, just watching me fussy cut clouds out. Right, so let's get this done. I've sort of not quite got it to the edge, but I'm just cutting on the inside of the edge. I'm sure by the time we get this on here, we're not going to notice too much. Right, that is going to bother me, those little pink bits though, so I'm going to put that by the first one. I just don't know where that one's going just yet. We will definitely be needing all 3 on because, you know, I like it in 3s. Most of us do. But, yeah, we'll see. We will see how we go. Right, so let's get this cut out. I'm not nearly as fast or as efficient as our Dawn. She'd have whizzed around that by now. She's amazing at fussy cutting. Right, so I'm going to hide the bits that I'm not so keen on there, and then I'm going to put up another one just here, but I think I'll just use half the cloud. Right, let's bring this down. Oh, I want to stamp some dangles as well. So I'm going to put a couple just there. I need to get a slim block, I think, one like this. Right, so let's get these done. I'm going to do one in full, and then I'm going to grab a bit of paper and make the other one shorter. Let's get one there. I ended up putting a thumbprint, of course. Now it seems like a nice, clean, simple look going on. We now have a thumbprint there, so yes, we will have to deal with that now. So I've got 2 little dangles going on there. So I'm going to get my clouds down, and then we'll work out what we're going to do over there to rectify that situation. Never panic. Never think, oh no, I've ruined it. I mean, my plan was to have nice and clean and simple. We're just going to have to change the plan. That's okay. Right, so I'm going to put that one there. Where did my other clouds go? Oh, there they are, over here. Right, so I'm going to pop this one here. Like so. And then we'll have this one like so. La 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 la. Right, now this one may have to come here now. So we'll put this one here. Oops. I'll put that there and chop that off. There, am I gonna want another? No, I think we're alright. Right, just put it there actually. Why not? I'm gonna tuck it actually. I know exactly where I'm gonna put it. I'll put it just here. Just behind the flower. There we go. Perfect. So we've still got a bit of a smudge, but hopefully not too bad. Right, I'm just going to grab my pencils now. Let's get a little pink one, I think. Yeah, let's have pink dangles. I'm not sure that's the pink I want. There we go. Okay, so we've got a little pink dangle going on here. A little pink raindrop. Wouldn't it be wonderful? Wouldn't the world be wonderful if we had little pink raindrops? And then, seeing as we've kind of still got a few smudges, what I might also do is just stamp some text in it. I'm going to have to clean my block though, so that we don't end up with even more smudges, because I can see that that block is a little bit inky. Right, so I'm just going to grab this and just put some repeat stamps like you would a text background. Just for a little bit of interest. There we go, and I'm going to do it in 3 different areas, and as I said, partly because this is now going to just disguise the fact that I had a thumbprint there. Also, I just quite like doing this. I think it's a really easy way of building up a bit of interest, and it shows that you don't need a big text stamp to create a fun effect. Pop some just there, just a little bit. There we go. So that is quite cool. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to pull back in, well, I actually had it in this video, but in the last one. I'm going to pull this in and just grab some of that pink ink and just add a few little splittery splatters like so, and then a doodled border. She says, where is my pen? Honestly, I'm in such a pickle, it's ridiculous. There it is. There it is. Right, I'm just going to add a little doodly border. I'm going with a whole squiggly line because it sort of matches the papers. The papers sort of seem to have this edge here, so I'm just doing that and matching the edge up. Like so, and then we will get on to the next one. Oops. There we go. So just for you. Okay, so I'm going to move it on to the second tag. I have got this paper here. So this part of the Delightfully Dotty. As you can see, those are the papers that we just used in the Blooming Brights. The Delightfully Dotty and the Blooming Bright just go hand in hand together so well. I'm thinking that what I might do with this one is just a fussy cut, not all of this, but an edge. Now I'm not quite sure how this is going to work with trying to create the tab, because I definitely want the tab coloured so that it matches from the front of the book. So as I said, I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. So I'm just going to, let me get closer to all of this. I'm just going to fussy cut this out, and then shall I come back to you once I've fussy cut that out so that this video isn't horrendously long, and then we'll see. So I'm thinking that'll sort of stick like that, which looks very nice. I do like it, but we're going to have to work out what we're doing with the tab. So I should find my glue before I turn the camera back on, shouldn't I? I am just going to, I think that actually this one is going to be really quick and easy. I don't know that I'm going to add any of the stamped images. I think this particular paper just, we're filling the page really well just with that. So I think that's all we needed. And what I did was I went into my folder that I hold these in and just pulled out the scraps. So I was trying to use some of the scrap elements that I've already got knocking about. So we'll pop that on and stick that down. I have covered the hole there, but what I will do is pull my crocodile out and get that back in. Let's just neaten that off, and then we'll also sort of get the black pen round this as well. So I do want there to be a coloured tab, I think. I just think when we've bought that on that I would prefer that to sort of match in a bit better. So what can we do? I'm going to try using that. Okay, just going to take that bit there so it's mostly green. Now it's not going to look even, so I think we're going to have to fix that with doodling. We're going to end up with the same issue that I had on the other one, and last time I resolved that by putting paper down this side, but because of the way that's working now on this side, I don't think we're going to be able to use the same fix. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to fix that with doodling. So when I come to backing this, I'll pull my cropper dial out as well, because we'll probably use, as I said, I'm thinking that I'm going to use full sheets of paper for the backing, and then create almost like journaling tabs. Oops. Making a pig's ear. I hate to think what it's going to look like when I turn round. So, that is just because I've got a little bit of muck on my finger and we've got adhesive there, but if you've got one of these adhesive erasers, they're brilliant for when we get glue in places we don't want. So I've just caused a little bit of a problem to that edge. Right, so let's edge this in black. As I said, I'm hoping that when we get to doodling, that is going to cover a multitude of sins for us, and we can make that just work. That would be good. Right, let's get this on there, like so. And we'll see what occurs. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's quite late at night, and basically what's happened is we were asked to do an extra show, so these stamps were not supposed to go on until December, but I've got my girls busy doing other things, so I am desperately trying to make a load of samples so that there's samples for the show, but I'm doing them all myself, so I'm going to have to keep working quite late, and it's like there's no point in me making things and not filming. I may as well do two things together. I may as well sort of do the two things together, but the trouble is it's sort of late and it's the end of the day and my brain has stopped working, and I'm very aware that I just suddenly sort of stopped talking. Right, so I'm hoping that if I just do some doodling around here, and then I'm going to do what I can to make that tab look part of it, that we can get away with some of the dodgy cut work that went on there. Okay, I'm going to give that a double wiggle. Why not? Let's give it a double wiggle. Let's see how it looks then. Double wiggle also covers a multitude of sins. And then what I'm thinking is if I do almost like a full cross stitch and a little bit of doodling there, so it matches the style of the paper, that will work. And then it's to sort of marry this to the first tag that we did. I'm going to pick up some of that same pink and add a few splatters, and then we should get a nice cohesive look as we go through. So we've got the first page and the second page. Right, so I'm going to move that to the side and we'll get the last one done. So I'm thinking that we need maybe the yellow. Yeah, yellow. So I'm going to get some yellow on that. I'm just going to cut this down. So I've cut it down. So this is the more full piece, but I've got this scrappy piece, and to be honest, we don't need a lot of paper to do these little tab things. So I'm better off using the scrappy piece to do that. So I'm going to Get the glue on there. I'll get this down. I've honestly had these tags in my stash so long. I mean, there's a big, as you said, a big pad of them, so I would like to do sort of create my own little journal or something with them, but it feels really nice to be actually using them. Okay. So we'll get in. There we go. Right. Fabulous. And I'm going to try the same technique here, but I'm going to go with a torn edge again. And I'm going to do it so that we've got a contrasting colour. So we'll do it so that we've got the green down here and not the orange, and then that sort of contrasts with what we've got going on there. Actually, we could probably, I might put another torn layer of something else on as well, just to give it a bit more interest. Okay. We'll get that down like so. Fabulous. Okay. And let's just neaten this up like so. Right. Oops. There we go. Right. So I'm thinking that we should have some other elements that out of the scraps that we've got, she says, and I'm picking up the same bit of paper. I just want some other that's really not what I want at all. Oh dear. Yeah, this might work. Right. I just want some other layers of torn edges and shapes just to give us a little bit more interest, so it's not too similar to the very first page that we did. But I'm kind of wanting to have like the different patterns and designs. We've got all these like really cool patterns in all of these papers. So I'm just trying to make the most of them. And then we'll get some of the flowers that we've coloured in. And then let's see how we go up from there. So it's just a bit, a tiny thing, but just a bit more interesting than what we had before. So I'm going to do that, and then let's get the old black marker round, help it frame it for ourselves, and then work out what we are doing next. Right. It's amazing the difference that framing things makes. It draws the eye in. As I said, we have the most amazing peripheral vision, which means we can see all sorts, but we want people looking at the artwork. So putting it in a frame, it's almost like you tell the brain, look inside here, and all of a sudden we see what's in the inside of it an awful lot better. So this is why, as I said, sometimes I frame before I get to the end piece, because just as anyone onlooking, it helps them to look inside the frame. This helps me to look inside the frame too, so that I can maybe focus as to what I am going to do. Now we've got one of these daisy ones on, so I'm thinking, oh yes, I love that against those colours. Actually, just that one, that is just perfect. Right, but what I am going to do is, we need some interest in some other way. Should we just get that text, and just get this text that's just for you back in again? I think that could be enough. Let's just keep it simple. I love how those colours, I think the fact that we've got the green of the stock and then those yellows and oranges, I mean that totally was not planned at all It's a complete coincidence, but I love how that looks. So just, it's needs a bit of detail, so that's fine. I've got that. Yep. Happy with that. Actually, I'm just going to build that up a bit more. Just so it's coming off the edge a little bit. There we go. Ooh. Perfecto. That one came together nice and quick. I just, as soon as I put that down, it was like, yes, absolutely. Love it. Right, so I'm going to pop that there. And then I'm going to get my black pen. Oh, you're joking me. I have just put a big finger. I don't think I've got another one coloured like that. I have just put a great big finger splodge in it. Oh, that's annoying. Right, let's see. What can we do? What can we do? I'm going to see how much of it I can just try and lift up without damaging the paper. And then I'm going to have to get some different colour mediums in and try and colour over that. Oh, that's so annoying. I'm getting to the stage I'm going to lift the paper. Right, let's get the doodling done. Yeah, well, it'll be fine. It'll be alright. As I said, never panic. I mean, I'm gutted because I was really, really happy. But still, never panic. It's never a mistake. There's no mistakes in art, only creative opportunities. So, I think what I'm going to do is try and get maybe a bit of yellow pencil or something on there, just to sort of disguise the bulk of the black. And then I might sort of try and get a glitter pen over that, and we'll see how it looks then. That is very, very irritating. Okay, rainbow pens, which are almost like a paint, so that might work. So you can kind of blend. So I'm going to bring some of these colours, so it's almost like I've got like neon highlights in this now. It's all good. It's all good. It's not right, it's not the end. Right, don't like that. But what you can do with these is, while they are wet, you can blend them. So I'm just going to blend that. Oh, it's going to be the worst paintbrush in the world. Just going to blend that. I'm going to need to let that paper dry a little bit, I think. So what I'm going to do is just put that to the side and let that paper dry. And in between time, what I'm going to do is, where are the other tags that we have made just here? Right, so I've got this paper here. So I was thinking what I'm going to do for each of the tags is I'm literally just going to cover the entire back using this paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that on all the tags now. Just covered the backs of all of these. I didn't do the tab bit for that. I don't know whether to try and fit an extra one in, just purely because I had that flower there, so it was going to be awkward to cut round, so I sort of left it as was. Right, this is sort of dried a little bit now, so I think rather than do any fancy blending, I'm just going to stick with this sort of neon yellow. Instead, we've brought a bit down the other bits of the flower as well, so I'm going to add it in a few different places so that it's like a really cool highlight. I'm just going to let that top bit waft dry, and then I'm going to grab my glitter. Glitter hides a multitude of sins. So if there was a strange edit there, my camera decided that it ran out of battery. Tell you, it's all going on. Just as I'm sort of trying to get a handle on one problem, the next one jumps along. So as I was saying before the camera rudely interrupted me, glitter hides a multitude of sins. So hopefully those extra little black marks that we've got going on will be hidden by the sparkles. I'm going to add a few. Yeah, I'm just going to do the whole flower with a glitter overlay. And as I said, it's amazing the difference a little bit of glitter can make. I'll get that on, let that dry, and then I'm just going to go and have a little look for some ribbons and bits and pieces. So I've got that, a little tag book there, and I'm just going to find something to tie all of that together. But yeah, it's getting there. Oh, actually, before I do that, just the one thing that's missing from this particular page is it doesn't have the same pink splatters that the others do. So again, just so it's all cohesive, I'm going to get a bit more pink on here, just so that it's all cohesive. I'm just going to do the same. Sorry, I can't actually see. I'm just, there we go. So I just want to, it's going to fill in so it's not going to look as stark there, and as I said, it just marries with the other pages that we had there. So yeah, I'm going to go get ribbons that we can manage to get through. So I've got this leaf one. I'm going to take a chunk of that. I think this is from the works, but it's multicoloured leaves, so it goes really well with what we've got there. I've got a little bit of pink. I'm going to take some of that, and oops, I don't often use ribbons. They're the sort of thing that I absolutely love on other people's projects, and then I try and put them on my own, and I just never seem to manage to get it to look right. And yet other people just put ribbons on and it just looks amazing. But yeah, for some reason it doesn't seem to happen the same for me. So we're going to do well if we actually manage to get all of these 3 through those holes, but we'll see how we go. Right, so let's see how narrow we can pencil that. It's fairly dry. So I have put a hole through all of them, so let's see how we get on here. I'm trying to make this as flat as I possibly can and as small as I possibly can. Oops. Actually, maybe we should do it one at a time. Let's get this one through, because I think this one's probably the most effective. Nah, because if I do that, I'm definitely not going to have room to get the others through. Let's see how we go. Right. So this is probably very ambitious. I mean, I could technically try and get another hole through, like, okay, we're getting there. We've got one ribbon through, and a second, and have we got all 3? Yep, excellent. So we've got all 3 through one. So I am just going to take this off camera so I can wrestle at a slightly better angle for myself, and that this video doesn't become too overly boring for you to watch. And I'll come back when I have them all through. So I've just got a loop. I've sort of folded them so they come through in a loop, and now I'm just going to grab all of that like so and try and pull it tight. Now I'm probably going to have to pull it tight by doing one ribbon at a time, but that's all good. We're going to end up with different lengths. I'm going to chop this down anyway, to be honest, so I'm not too overly worried by that, but I think it also gives it a much more organic feel to be able to do that. It's not wanting. There we go. It's just trying to find the right string to pull to get it tight. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we've got that. I think that looks really funky. So let me see. Do I want to chop any of this? Yes, I think I do. I'm going to chop the pink bits a bit shorter. What you can do as well, especially with like these, you know, if you fold it and then nick in, you'll create a little V, and that stops it from fraying quite so much. I'm not going to bother with the others, but I will on these ones. Okay, so let me see. I'm just going to shorten this ricky one a little bit. But yeah, I think I'm quite happy. So let's just clear the deck. This little mini tag book all done. So we've got our front cover here, so that's our first one, and then we have the second one here. I've made that a bit too tight now, so let's just loosen this off a little bit, especially as it's going to be on the old telly box and the presenters no doubt will try and flick through it, so let's just loosen that. Right, so we've got that one there, then we have this one here, and the last one there. So that is our little mini tag book there. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed crafting along with me today. As I said, these stamps will be available on the craft store on Tuesday. I will put the details in the description box below. If you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I will be back with some more crafty goodness very, very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.